we just got a new standard banner featuring SilverAsh and Mudrock as our 6 stars, and Broca, Beeswax and Quercus as our 5 stars. Before we get to the video itself, make sure to support my channel by liking, commenting and subscribing. It really means a lot to me. I would also like to point out that I'm only talking about these operators' gameplay. You should always pull for operators that you want and like instead of listening to me. I am not your dad. Waifus and husbandos over meta any day. This banner is very valuable, especially for newer players. We are going to get stronger banners in the near future, but I would still recommend to at least consider pulling this banner. It provides 2 good and versatile operators that can carry even before you can E2 them. Let's start with SilverAsh, a ranged guard whose range attacks deal slightly reduced damage. His talents give him some extra damage, reduce all of your operator's redeployment time, and reveals invisible units within his range. Let's take a look at his skills. SilverAsh's first skill is a low SP cost auto-triggering damage boost to his next attack. As usual, skills like these can be nice for AFKing long stages, or if you're a newer player and don't have other ranged guards like Thorns. His second skill decreases his range, boosts his defense, and makes him regen HP. The second skill turns SilverAsh into a tank, and it can be very useful for players who do not have many good lane holders. And finally, we have his third skill, that expands his range, gives him a massive attack boost, and allows him to attack up to 6 enemies at once. These attacks are considered as melee attacks, so they will deal the full damage. This is definitely SilverAsh's go-to skill, allowing him to delete groups of enemies with ease. It has very high SP cost, but also very high initial SP, making SilverAsh a good heli drop operator. The skill might be a bit tricky to use because of the defense reduction, making SilverAsh extremely squishy. Let's have a quick summary. SilverAsh is a ranged guard. His ranged attacks deal less damage. His first and second skill can be very valuable for new players who don't have many operators. He is versatile and works well even before E2. His third skill deals massive amount of AoE burst damage, and he is an extremely good heli drop that can delete groups of tougher enemies. Overall, SilverAsh is a must-have operator, especially for newer players who do not have many strong meta operators. He is versatile, works fine before E2, and can single-handedly carry stages. However, he is an old operator and suffers a bit from power creep and will provide less value for those who already have operators like Thorns and Surtur. Let's move on to Mudrock, an enemy defender who cannot be directly healed by allies. Her talent allows her to gain a stacking shield that restores a fair amount of HP when broken. She also takes less damage from Sarka's enemies. Her stacking shield talent makes her extremely good against slow but hard-hitting enemies. Let's take a look at her skills. Her first skill is a simple defense up with a fairly high uptime. Realistically, you will never be using this skill outside of some incredibly rare situations where you need Mudrock to tank range enemies, as the other skills just provide so much more value. Her second skill is a low SP cost auto-triggering damage boost to her next attack, also making it AoE, heal Mudrock, and have a chance to stun. This is Mudrock's easier to use skill and will often be her go-to skill. It allows Mudrock to self-heal, deal good damage and CC enemies, making her a very good and self-sufficient lane holder and a duelist. It is also a very nice skill to have for AFKing longer stages. And finally, we have her third skill that makes her stop attacking and immune to damage for 10 seconds, while also inflicting a powerful slow to nearby enemies. After those 10 seconds, Mudrock stuns all nearby enemies, attacks faster, gains an attack boost and a defense boost, and attacks up to 3 targets within her range. This skill does so many things and can be a bit tricky to use effectively. It is most useful as a crowd control kind of supporting ability, but it also has fairly strong dueling and wave clearing potential. Let's have a quick summary. Mudrock is a very tanky and high DPS defender, but cannot be directly healed by allies. She gains a stacking shield that allows her to tank slow hitting enemies forever. She also has lots of crowd control and is very versatile and self-sufficient. Her third skill can be a bit tricky to use, and she is fairly weak against fast attacks and arch damage. Overall, Mudrock is a must-have operator. She is incredibly tanky, versatile and self-sufficient. She can completely trivialize some stages and bosses. She is an insanely valuable lane holder and a duelist, and works fine even before E2. She also provides good DPS and lots of crowd control. Let's take a look at the 5 stars. None of the banner's 5 stars are significant, and I wouldn't recommend 10 pulling if you aren't otherwise pulling this banner. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more Arknights content. See you in the next video.